Hey up, Rock God 2004 back with another video for you. So beautiful. I've been pretty excited for this one. This is the second or part 2, as it's wrote on my paper here, of my Q&A. I did one before, so I thought I'd do another one. I was really shocked at how many people have posted questions on this. I've only just found out today. I think she said there's about 40-ish, 41. Didn't expect that. So to everybody who's took the time out, even the bell ends, you know who you are. You'll know when you read the first question or two. Yeah. You'll know you are. Even yous. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it, because I did say if there's like sort of 15 to 20, I'll do it. Gone way over. So, should we just get on with it? Here we go. So Laura's been through all the comments and she's wrote them all out, so that I didn't have to keep going backwards and forwards. It's took her about 2 days to do, I think, bless her. So right, here we go then. And the first one is Cy Robson 4080. Hi Cy. As long as we can ask questions about MCU, Star Wars, Alien and Eraserhead, I'm up for it. With 20 laughy faces. This username is very apt. Smegsky, John Taylor. And his question is, why are you a massive hairy quim? It's because I've been hanging around you too long, you walking, talking vagina. Scott, little Scott, the movie critic. Awesome stuff, Nigel. Loved your first Q&A, so this should be great as well. My questions are, oh, he's put more than one here. What is your favourite song by a musician you hate? That could be because of something horrible they've done, or because they're just really shite at music, but I've made at least one good song. Wow. There could be a few, but there is somebody, and I can't stand them, but I really do. I mean, there's quite a lot. There's one sprung to mind. Savage Garden, or Cabbage Garden. I Knew I Loved You Before I Met You. I don't know what it is about that song. I just really like it. But the rest of their stuff, I can't abide them. And there is another one as well. In fact, I'll go for this one because I hate these even more. Oh man, what are they called? They're like an indie band, but I've seen them in Kerrang when they first started out, and I've got no idea why they were there. They've got a colour in the name, I think. Maroon 5. And the one I like is that I Don't Want to Know. Is it I Don't Want to Know? No, Who's Loving You So? That I don't know why. I absolutely love that song. I hate that band. I didn't even know it was them at first. And the other question of Scott. Also, what is your least favourite song by a musician you do like? Looking forward to hearing your answers. My least favourite song by a musician that I like, I'm going to go with Iron Maiden. And my least favourite song by them, it's off the Virtual 11 album. Now, a lot of people hate that album. I love it, except for one song. And I don't know whether that's got anything to do with why the album just totally bombed, because this was the first single, and it is one of the biggest piles of shit I have ever heard in my life. Go and listen to it if you dare. When they released this, Steve Harris was saying, we wanted to sound a little bit like The Who. It's more like The Pooh. And the song is The Angel and the Gambler. Wow. What a pile of bilge. I dare you to listen to it. So thanks for that, Scott. Next up is Delboy. Delboy 3K1. That's what she wrote. Simple one to start. At the height of your love of movies, how many hours do you think you watched in a week? And to continue, how many hours do you watch now? At the height, it must have been when we first got our video. And especially when I got together with my very first girlfriend, who is the mother of my kids. We used to go to a video rental shop every single night, get 3 out, walk back to our house, watch all 3 with me dad. My mum used to watch some, but not many, but there was always me, her, and me dad. The next day, we would walk back to the video shop, and we're talking like a few mile here, 2-3 mile-ish. If you're from the Middlesbrough area, we lived in Thorntree, and we'd walk to North Ormsby and then back. Take them back, get another 3, walk home with them, and do exactly the same thing. So you can imagine 3 hours a night, 7 days a week. So you're looking at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4.5, say 5 hours to allow for over 5 hours a night. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That's 35 hours a week. And that's just the rentals. And to continue, how many hours approximately do I watch now? I do watch a canny few, but I don't watch as much as I used to then. Mainly because I've got that many that I want to watch. I've also got stuff that people send me that I need to get through. But also because I'm doing this as well. This is very time consuming doing these videos with the live streams as well. But I do try and watch at least 1 or 2 a day, but it's not always possible. But then the Sundays I might get 3 films in, depending. It's a bit up and down now. But yeah, in the 80s, wow. Practically glued to the telly. Thank you for that one, Delboy. Lisa loves. I'd love to hear about your band in general. Do you do your own material or covers? What's your favourite guitar solo, and what's the best gig you've been to that wasn't Iron Maiden? Right. The best gig that I've ever been to that wasn't Iron Maiden, I think I'm going to have to say Kiss. In 1997 at Finsbury Park in London, and it was the reunion of the original lineup. My God, it was absolutely mind-blowing. And as they were coming on and going through the set, it was a really hot day in July in London, and the sun was setting, and that's what I always wanted to do. I wanted to be at a gig when the sun set, and I got it. What a show that was. My favourite guitar solo. Wow. The one that springs to mind straight away is, wow, and it is amazing. And it's the live version of the Strangers in the Night album by UFO. And the song is Rock Bottom, and it's Michael Schenker doing the solo. Blows your mind. When you consider when you hear it and you hear him playing, I think he was still only a teenager, or approaching 20. Wow. He was phenomenal. More about the band in general. We mainly do our own stuff. Nicole, the singer, writes the vast majority of it, especially lyrics. She will come in, if she says, I've got a new song, she'll come in with an acoustic. She'll strum the basic tune, which she's sort of wrote down. She'll sing along to it. And then we will sort of try to join in. I'll listen, and I'll just try and do the bass. I'll start off with a basic bass thing till I've learnt the song. Then I'll start and add all little twiddly bits in like that. Usually what we do, though, because she's actually wrote the main melody of the song and the lyrics, we just credit her with it. Unless some of us have actually physically added something to it that wasn't originally in the song, then it would be a double, sort of a double co-writing thing. I've wrote one song for the band. I wrote the lyrics and the music, and it's probably the fastest and heaviest song we do, because we're not all like metal. If you listen to us, we do like all sorts of variations of like rock and indie and acousticy type of thing. You can't really put a stamp on it, but this is like really gets the blood going type of thing. We have done covers. We haven't done them for a while, but the one that we sort of are consistent with is, and we still do this to this day, it's a cover of Hurt, which is the 9 Inch Nails / Johnny Cash song. 9 Inch Nails being the writers and original singers. We used to do Hungry Like the Wolf, Duran Duran, rocked up a bit. We used to do Inside by Stiltskin. Do you remember that? I used to sing that one. I used to also sing a Stereophonics one called My Own Worst Enemy. What are the covers? Zombie, the Cranberries. That always goes down a storm. But usually if we do covers in a set, you're looking at probably either 1 or 2, depending if it's a short one. If it's a long set, you might get 3 or 4. I think 5's the most we've ever done in one gig, because we've got that much original stuff. And it's me who does the set lists. I'll usually ask the rest of the guys if there's any song they particularly want to do. And if there's one they particularly want to do, I'll say, well, tell me, and I'll see if I can get it in the set list type of thing. Usually they just say, just do it. And then I'll go back with the set list, and they might just say, well, I'd rather do that than that. And that's when I started saying, why don't you fucking tell me to begin with? And I asked you what song you want to do. But eventually it gets started. I must admit, though, to be fair to them all, I'm lucky because we all get on really well. I do. I love them to bits. Usually when I do the set list, they usually go, yeah, sounds good. It's not very often that they'll pick it apart or anything like that. There is some videos way back in my YouTube, Lisa. If I remember, I'll send you the links to them all. Hurt's one of them. And then the rest, I think, it's all original stuff. But it's basically like, it's proper recordings we've done, but it's just like images. But there is one live video on there that we did at Wakefield in a place called the Snooty Fox, where they record the entire gig for you. I don't think it's there anymore now. So I will try and remember to send you the link and have a listen and see what you think. So thank you very much for that, Lisa. Delboy again. You love music and you're in a band. Do you find you listen to music differently now since you joined a band? And has that raised your appreciation on what makes a good song or theme? It's a bit strange because I've always been able to, even when I wasn't in a band, I could always pick out the different instruments. At the time, when I was a kid, I didn't know the difference between a bass and a guitar. All I knew was one sounded really low and the other one didn't. So I've always been able to sort of like pick them out. But when I did join the band and you realise how much work goes into a song, then yes, I do appreciate more. When I wrote the song for our band, which is a song called Strike, I actually started off, I just had this little riff in my head. I played it on my bass. And then I just added a bit more to it and added a bit more. I thought, oh, so I recorded that. And then I sort of worked out where I wanted to go next. So recorded that. And then I had it in my head how I wanted the guitars to sound. So they basically watched me play the bass line and learned the notes off that. And then I had a little twin harmony guitar bit in the middle, which I know it went. So I basically told the guitarist one of them to play that and one to play that till we eventually sorted out the right notes. And it sounds pretty good, actually. It's like I wanted it to sound like sort of like Thin Lizzy-esque, that little bit. And then I go, right, I just said to the guitarist, right, yeah, do a solo here. and he just absolutely nailed it. So I do appreciate that, yeah, a lot more now. I think that's the two things. As it raised your appreciation on what makes a good song. Yeah, this is why I think why I'm so picky with music when I hear things like Joy Division, Love Will Tear Us Apart. That to me is just, it's just noise. It's about three notes, 3 or 4 notes, and all it's done is just repeated over and over and over and over. And to me, it's one of the worst songs I've ever heard. Yet millions and millions go to classics. It's one of the greatest songs ever. It really isn't. Not to me, anyway. Hate it. Do you find the music different now, and does it raise? Yes. Right. So I've answered that one. Cheese Del Boy. Eraserhead. Who's your dream music collab? As in, which 2 artists would you like to see make a song together? And who would you like to make a song with? Brackets, it's Maiden, isn't it? Yes, I would love to do a song with Maiden. Me personally. I would either want to do the bass, or I would want to do the twin bass with Steve Harris. And maybe there's a bit of backing vocals with Bruce. That would be my lifelong thing completed there. A music collab. Which 2 artists would I like to see make a song together? It would be interesting to see either Iron Maiden and Judas Priest do one together, or to be a little bit different, Iron Maiden with Avril Lavigne. I would like that. That would be good. And the nearest thing I've seen to it, I think, is I know the remaining Sex Pistols, well, Steve Jones and Paul Cook, have teamed up with Billy Idol and I think somebody else from Generation X. So now they're now called Generation Sex, and they go on stage and do Pistol stuff and Generation X stuff. I've never seen them, but I know that they've got together. My son's seen them at Glastonbury this year, and he said they were great. I said to him, you need to go and see them. He went, who's that? I went to Generation X and the Sex Pistols, and he went and seen them, and he really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'll go for either Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, or Iron Maiden and Avril Lavigne, because that would be interesting. So yeah, cheers for that, mate. Del Boy. In your opinion, do you think it's easier to make a film and show it now than it was in the past? And do you think the quality of films now are worse, better, or about the same as previous decades? I personally think that they are worse. If it's not science fiction, it's Marvel. If it's not Marvel, it's remakes. If it's not remakes, it's films about bloody kids' toys. And I've had it up to here with them all. The amount of remakes is ridiculous. And this little sequel carry on. Jesus. Saw 10. Really? It finished. I've also been told they're doing another Final Destination. Why? They ended that so well. So yeah, I think they're a lot worse. They used to get a lot more originality, and you got a lot better films. For me, the heyday for films, especially my stuff like horror, and just the general feel of it, of the era, is 70s and 80s. That's my favourite lot. But nowadays, I don't go to the pictures anywhere near as much as what I used to go. It doesn't bother me as much. I went to see Scream. I was going to go see Evil Dead, but somebody sent me a copy of it, so I didn't need to bother. Now, there is some people would say, no, I want to go to the cinema, I'll watch it and I'll go. Well, I didn't. I will be getting the 4K, though. And the other bit, do I think it's easier to make a film and show it? No. Because there's that much crap, very saturated as it is, and the companies are getting so greedy. Well, they're not getting so greedy, they are greedy. They're getting greedier and greedier. And And I think the little person, they just can't get a look in. I am impressed with what I've seen by Ty West, who's like, he's done some A24 stuff, but I always like looking at him as like a little independent director. He did X, Pearl, and he's doing Maxine. I've only seen the first two, but I'm well impressed with him. And I'd be all up for more stuff like that from him. Not necessarily that storyline, but I like the way he's done them. I'm sick of weird stuff as well. I'm absolutely sick to death of it. Things like Smile. Jesus. People like that, and they can get films made who makes things like Smile and just this weird bilge, and Men. Jesus. And I don't know how they get into it. I don't know how they do it, because it's ridiculous. It's the same with music now. It's gone are the days where you would send off your demo or CD or tape and hear back from the record company or their reps, and no. You've either got to go on and see Simon Cowell, or you have to be exceptionally lucky and be spotted and they approach you. Very rare, very hard to get into, and I think it's getting the same with films. So even though the films were better for me in the 80s and 70s, it was probably a hell of a lot easier to get them done as well. Apart from things like special effects, they had to work on them more when it was all practical effects, not this CGI stuff. But it looks a hell of a lot better for it, doesn't it? I think it does. So thank you for that one as well, Del Boy. This is David Nicholson. Wow, this is a... I'm not going to do it because I'm not going to stick any What a Bell End bits in. Stranded on a desert island, you're allowed 3 Maiden albums and they must be consecutive releases. E.g., Number of the Beast, Peace of Mind and Power Slave. Right, counts. As does Dance of Death, A Matter of Life and Death, and The Final Frontier. Well, it certainly wouldn't be that because I can't stand that album. 3 only, and you skip the live ones. Right. I'm probably going to go with Killers, Number of the Beast, and Peace of Mind. Yeah. Even though that means we're missing out Seventh Son, but yeah, I'm going to go with them 3. And your superpower can be either time travel or invisibility. Which do you pick? And what would you do with this? Clean answers only. Wow. I can't think of any clean answers for invisibility. But then again, you could go and listen to all the people talking about you and you who hated you, couldn't you? And you could, let's say, acquire a lot of money from various sources. You could go in changing rooms if you were that way inclined without touching, just having a little nose. But with time travel, you could. Does that mean I could go back and change stuff, or would I just relive what I've missed? I don't know. I want to go with invisibility. Yeah, because you can go where you want then without anybody seeing you. And listen to anything you want. Yeah, invisibility. What do I think of Bruce Dickinson's solo albums or British Lion? I personally don't love, but I do really like Bruce's stuff, what I've heard. Tears of the Dragon, what a song that is. The later ones I haven't got to yet. I bought the box set. If that had been the Maiden box set, they'd have been played. But I've only listened to about 2 or 3. I do love, actually, the Accident of Birth album. That's fantastic. Adrian Smith plays on that. But I didn't know I liked Tears of the Dragon that much until I actually sat and listened to it over the last few years. And it's an absolute cracker. And his voice on it is, whoa, just get you. So yeah, I do actually really like Bruce's stuff. Not as much as Maiden. British Lion, again, I do really like them. I would rather go and see British Lion than I would Bruce Dickinson, because Steve Harris is my idol and he's there. And I know for a fact after the gigs, he'll come and sign stuff for you, whereas Bruce, I'm not so sure about. Steve's a nicer person as well. And I have actually met all of British Lion except the singer. And what a lovely bunch of blokes they are. Especially, I think he's called David, their guitarist, with a B in that. What a lovely fella he is. But I'll be honest, I've only played it once, but British Lion's second album, The Burning, blows the first one out of the water. It's far better. It sounds better produced. The songs are better. And I've got it on American import on red vinyl. It was only black vinyl over here. This is the same person. This is the same question. What's the best werewolf film you've seen apart from Howling, American Werewolf in London, and Lon Chaney's Wolfman? Wow. Well, they're my favourite three. It certainly ain't the Wolfman, because that's one of the biggest piles of shit I've ever seen. I can't have the Howling, I can't have American Werewolf, and I can't have the Wolfman. Another werewolf film. Oh. I can't really think of any. Werewolf. It might be Ginger Snaps. I've only seen it once, but I do remember when I watched it, I absolutely loved it. That was a great film. There's probably more that they're just not popping into my head for some reason. I can't think, but Ginger Snaps was a good one. I need to get that anyway. I would like I think there's a trilogy of them, but I've only seen the first two, I think. Can't remember, but I really enjoyed the first one. What other werewolf films is there? That's the only one I can think of. I'm not going to say the ones I hate, like American Werewolf in Paris and The Wolfen. Yeah, I'll go with Ginger Snaps because it's the only one I can think of. Cursed is good as well with Christina Ricci in it. That's another good one. So-called folk horror has become a popular subgenre over the past few years. What do you think of it, and do you have any particular likes and dislikes? Folk horror, where I would think, I've only seen two of them, and that's The Wicker Man and Midsummer. And I absolutely love both. I've only watched Midsummer once. I've seen The Wicker Man a few times. And that's another sexy box that I wouldn't mind. But Midsummer, yeah, that I thought that was brilliant. I loved it. And I'd heard mixed reactions about it. But if there's any more like that, I'm definitely up for watching them. If you're counting things like The Witch, I've never seen that. Hereditary, that was just awful. Just didn't like that at all. But like folk horror, if there's anything else I don't know, come on the stream and tell me if there's any more than what I've said. But yeah, I love The Wicker Man and I love Midsummer. And I didn't actually mind the Wicker Man remake, and a lot of people hate that. And that's the end of that one. So David Nicholson, thank you so much for your essay of questions. Did you see that, Mike? How you diddling, mate? Yes. I'd love another questions and answers. Here's my questions. What got you into movies? I think it was going to the cinema and seeing Peter Pan for the first time. And then when I went to the pictures and saw... I can't remember whether I saw Jaws first. No, I don't think I did. When I got to the seniors, I went with my friend to see Battle Beyond the Stars. It's like a science fiction-y thing. And I think Roger Corman did it, and him from John Boy Walton. And him out of it, he's in it. And I remember I absolutely loved it. I've never bought it, because I don't know whether I'd like it or not, or I daren't risk it. And then I started getting like the little bug, but it was when I seen Jaws, I was like, that was it. Then I was watching stuff on the telly as well. I watched Jewel when I was a kid. I watched that with my sister on the telly in the 70s. But then when videos came out, that was it. Bang. That was all I ever did, watch films. What movie do you refuse to watch and why? Any of the Alien films, because I saw the first one and I absolutely loathed, despised, hated it. Oh, but you must watch Aliens, it's better. I don't care. I hate science fiction, which everybody knows, so I ain't watching Aliens just because it's better than the first fucker. Who's your favourite actor, actress? And if you could ask them one question, what question would you ask? Oh, I'm going to say from recent years, my favourite actor has got to be Robert De Niro. Because he can just turn his hand to anything. He's absolutely amazing. What would I ask him? Bloody hell. What would I ask him? I would probably ask him if he really did get on with Joe Pesci, and also how, when he played the priest in Sleepers, how did he make himself that one tear cry? What was he thinking of to make that happen? Because that is one powerful scene that I've never ever forgot. That scene stuck with me. I watched it at the cinema and I got goosebumps and I filled up watching him. He was just so convincing. And I'd probably ask him if he's got like a couple of $1 million spare he didn't want. Actress, I'm going to have to go with Mia Goth. I just think she's absolutely fantastic. After watching her in X, I liked her then. But as soon as I watched Pearl, she just blew me away. I think Jenna Ortega's probably just as good as well. What would I ask them? Apart from, would you mind please getting your kit off? I would probably ask whichever one, or if I'm allowed both of them, because I think I like them both the same, because they're just brilliant what they do. I would probably say to them, could you make more films together, because they're just so good together in the stuff I've seen them in. I know that's probably only the one actually, but I was gutted that Jenna Ortega didn't come back. Maybe he's playing a different character. I don't want to say why, because I don't want to spoil anything. I would be absolutely stumped. It would be something stupid like that. I wouldn't know what else to ask them. If somebody stood in here, yeah, go on, ask me what you want. But I would like to see those two in more films, especially horror. Definitely. So I would ask them, away, get your shit together and get more horror films done together. And what would you... That's it. So, yeah, thanks for that, Mike. You're a star. Thank you very much. Adam Pearson 6729. All right, mate. Thank you. A few questions. What was your first VHS/DVD and Blu-ray that you purchased? The first VHS that I ever purchased was Video Pieces by Iron Maiden in the 80s. The original one that I had, I don't have it anymore, but I have an exact one, exactly the same, in fantastic condition up there. It's a video EP, and it came out in 83 when the Peace of Mind album came out, hence why it's called Video Pieces. And all it is, it's just the promo videos for Run to the Hills, The Number of the Beast, Flight of Icarus, and The Trooper. End of. And I wore it out, and my dad started to like bits of Iron Maiden because I played it so much. It used to like run to the hills. Dee, 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 dee. I went, what the hell? What? True story. So that was the first one I ever bought. DVD, I've still got it. The first one I bought, it was the Region 1 US Elite release of The Evil Dead. And I still have it to this day. And that was in 1999. When I bought the player, we did get 2 with it free. And it was, I think it might have been The Shawshank Redemption. And the other one was definitely Brassed Off. That's how I seen that film first. Oh, and I love that film. But the first one I ever owned, bought myself, was The Evil Dead, Region 1. And my first Blu-ray, do you know, I really can't remember that. I remember the Blu-ray that came with the player. It was that, and I've never watched it to this day, it was that awful 3D Pixar-y thing, Megamind, that came with it. But the first Blu-ray I ever actually bought, I even though the VHS and the DVD were years earlier, I can't for the life of me remember what Blu-ray the first one I got was. It might have been, but I can't swear to it, either The Exorcist or Tower Inferno, or did I get that afterwards? The Exorcist is the earliest I remember, with the slipcover. What is my favourite boutique label? That's a tricky one because there's that many out now and they're knocking it out the park, some of them. At the minute, I know they don't release loads and loads of stuff, which suits me. But because of the sheer quality of what they release and how they release it, I'm going to have to say at the minute it's Second Sight. I'm looking at Dawn of the Dead. I look at it, every time I look at it, I think, wow. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Martin, and God knows what they're going to do with the Hitcher, because they're just phenomenal. And lastly, do you think physical media is on the way out or not? No, I don't. I think it's dipped a lot, and I think far too many people are relying on streaming, which I don't like at all. But there's still people like myself, and like the guys I do the streams with, we're all like avid buyers of it, and I think that's going to keep it going, even if it all comes to, I know HMV's like slimmed down a lot, even if it comes out to all online, you're still going to have all these like boutique, as you call them, labels, because they know there's a market for it out there. And I do think one day that it'll be like vinyl. I think it'll have a comeback. And if it does, I think it'll probably be for 4Ks and Blu-rays as opposed to DVDs. Because the picture quality is just so much better. If people who've had DVDs and they haven't had anything else, they're going to think DVDs are fantastic still, because they haven't seen anything to compare it a lot of the time. And I think if they did, they'd go, bow. So, but I don't think it's going to go all together. I'm hoping it's not, but no, I don't think it will. Thank you very much for that one. Right. Marvel fan. Hello, mate. Great video, Nudge. Thank you very much. What food and drink don't you like? I hate ginger beer. And I cannot abide sprouts. Whether it makes you physically sick or whether you find boring, that doesn't have flavour to it, yeah. I just don't like ginger beer as a drink. I just think it's not very nice. And soda water. Soda water's vile. I like tonic water, not soda water. And I don't like seafood. I like prawns. And I like cod, like fish and chips cod from the fish shop. We have had before where we've gone and bought, you know, the yellow smoke cod, and we've had that like new potatoes and stuff like that. I like that as well. And I do like the smoked mackerel that's ready to eat. But these people who go for like mussels and sushi, raw fish and salmon, nah. So no. I can't stand anything coconut related. I don't mind coconut flavoured things. I wouldn't rant and rave about them, but coconut itself I think gets a bit dry in your mouth. I like Bounties. Not that I buy them a lot. But I did try coconut milk and it made me ill. Oh, also I did try Skittles milkshakes, but the same thing happened. I didn't know Skittles did milkshakes. Although in 2011, KFC did their own Crush'ems. There were 4 flavours: Oreo, Milky Bar, Skittles and Maltesers. Skittles was the worst one. Oreo had crushed Oreo pieces. Milky Bar had Milky Bar chunks. And Maltesers had Malteser pieces. They were $1.99 at the time, I think, but they did bring them back either last year, 2021, but they were watery. Nothing like before in 2011. But the price when they brought them back was $2.49. Yeah. You usually find that when they do something for a limited time that you absolutely love it, and then they bring it back years later. Never the same. Tastes like crap. Yeah, that's it for that one then. Yeah, right. Thank you very much for that one, Marvel fan. Harrison, my friend, how you diddling? Harrison's movie tribute. Who are your favourite top 3 actors? Top 5 directors? Oh, my top 3 favourite actors. I'm going to say Robert De Niro, Jack Nicholson, and I want to say Mia Goth. She's fantastic. Top 5 directors. Although I don't like everything he's done, I've got to say Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, John Carpenter, Wes Craven, and that's a tough one, isn't it? I can't think of another one. I've said George Romero, haven't I? Steven Spielberg, Martin Scorsese, George A. Romero, Wes Craven, and this is not easy to pick 5. I'm going to say, from what I've seen so far, I've only seen the 2, but I'm going to say Ty West, because he's impressed me. Why aren't you a fan of sci-fi? Because it's shit. I don't like that feeling of flying saucers and spaceships all over the place. To me, it's just nerdy geek stuff. I just can't abide it. It bores me rigid. Like when people get out of their little spaceships and they're moving dead slow and it's all dark with dots and we're in that box. Oh, God. And there's an alien and I just hate it. Hate it. And I don't know what caused the deep hatred for it, because like I said, I did go to the cinema to see Battle Beyond the Stars. Never ever in my life watched Star Wars, and I never ever intend to. I despised The Matrix. I think it was watching stuff like The Matrix and Alien. I thought, I'll give them a go, because everybody says they're marvellous. I think that's what's done it. It's absolutely sickened me. But like everything else, there's always an exception. I've just got that. I like that. Love Terminator 2. There's always exceptions. Always exceptions. And except when it comes to UB40, there's no exceptions. But yeah, there is. The Running Man, I'd like that as well. So yeah, I do like some, but not very much. There's a lot of exciting ones and good ones besides Star Trek. Yeah, I tried to watch Event Horizon. I turned it off after about 15 minutes. It was just garbage. I hated it. It did absolutely nothing for me. I sat through that one with Kurt Russell that Michael sent me. Michael... My memory's gone. Michael, I can't remember your name, mate. He sent me this film with Kurt Russell in, and I even watched an hour of it and only had half an hour left, and I turned it off because I did not give a shit what happened. I despised every second of it. This crappy red sky with the planets and all, it just does nothing for me. We all like different. What can I say? Michael Hewitt. I'm so sorry, mate. We got there in the end. Everybody likes different. I just hate science fiction. Thank you very much for your question. That was a good one. Sean, we... I don't know if she's wrote this. This is her writing. Sean Wendley. I can't remember your last name, but I know you are. Right, Sean. Hi, Nigel. My question is, have you seen the movie Trick or Treat? It's a great 80s rock music horror that has a fantastic soundtrack by Fast Where has cameo caused by Ozzy Osbourne, Gene Simmons. Yes, I've seen it, but only once, and it was in the 80s, and I can't remember anything about it apart from Gene Simmons going, "Wake up, sleepyhead, it's party time," because that was on the trailer, and it was on so many videos. It is getting a 4K release in the States this year, and I'm very, very tempted. Wordy Word 298. As I'm a landscaper, horticulturist, can you please describe your garden to me? Cheers, Andrew. Describe the garden. Well, if you go out the back door, there's a path leading up to the gate. On the left-hand side, it used to have just gravel, but now it's got a dirty, great big dialysis cabin in it. And on the other side, it's just a square patch of grass where the dog plays. Well, like a longish piece. It's only small, it's nothing big. It's not like it would take ages and ages to mow the lawn. I can't do it anymore with these bloody legs. But it's small. Yeah, that was a strange one. Thank you for that. Eraserhead. Thoughts on how YouTube should combat trolls in the community? It seems to be getting worse. Yeah, it does. I think that when you report them, I don't care how many reports them, whether it be 1 or 1,000, they should be tracked down to their IP address so that if they create any more, they know it's them, and they should be banned. And I think they should say, if you try and make any more once you've been banned because of what you've done, it should be a criminal offence, even if it's only a fine or anything. But to me, some of them should be jail sentence as well, because there's a lot of threatening and nasty shit said, which to me is totally unacceptable. I mean, my gob goes and stuff, yeah, but most of what I say is like in fun, messing about and stuff. I would never say anything really nasty to somebody unless, like I did when they said something nasty to somebody else. I didn't name them, but they'd expect an apology. Be a long day in hell before I apologise. I need an apology for what was posted on my video, trying to ridicule me. But yeah, it's getting out of hand. It's disgusting. I totally agree. But that's what I think they should do. They should be making it more serious and getting the law involved and stuff, and tracing their IP addresses into the computer and stuff, and maybe even putting a monitor on them. And the minute they do it, why should they get away with this? It's getting beyond the joke. Young kids have killed themselves. It's not right. Cy Robson, who's your favourite actress and what was the best movie show they've been in? It's got to be, like I said, it's either Jenna Ortega or Mia Goth. I'm going to say Mia Goth because she's got that edge. She's the better actress, I think. But they're both fantastic. But the best thing I've seen Mia Goth in is Pearl. The best thing I've seen Jenna Ortega in is Wednesday. It is amazing. And yes, I think she's better in that even than what she is in the Scream films. It's a hard one to pick just one of them because I like them both equally. They're just, to me, they're just fantastic what they do. They're just so natural at it. And I think it's a long time since I've seen a couple of actresses like that have that sort of impact. Because normally they're like, I don't know. They're not brilliant. Like, I'll tell you what, Air Out of Midsummer's really good as well. I've not seen much of her in. Not much of her in stuff. I can't even remember her name. You know the one I mean, though. She's in Midsummer, the blonde-haired one. But yeah, my favourite's got to be Mia Goth by about that much. Whitney Houston Forever. Who are your top 5 bands after Iron Maiden? In no particular order. The Police, Sex Pistols, probably Feeder, Judas Priest, and UFO. I think that's right, yeah. Honourable mentions also go to the Scorpions, especially their 70s stuff. Motorhead. Yeah, I'll stop at that. That'll do, yeah. Steve Moore. All right, Steve. What is your Holy Grail Blu-ray or 4K that you really need to get, but it is so expensive? Oh, that's a good question. One of them might be the upcoming Wicker Man box set, that 4K box set with that beautiful new artwork. It's about, is it about 60-70 quid or something? If you're thinking about one that's out now, wow. There's an American title of Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead. I think it's Cauldron, but it's the first release that came out beginning of the year or late last year, and it's sold out in the pre-order. And it's the one where you get a different slip and you get the soundtrack in like a card thing as well. I think you get 3 discs in the Blu-ray, but then you get an extra soundtrack, and there's another one or two sheet of stickers and something else. I would absolutely love that. But people bought it, and it's going on eBay for ridiculous money. I can't afford to pay that on one film. There's too much other stuff. But that would be an absolutely amazing one to get, even though Arrow are releasing that film. I would much rather have that Cauldron one. So yeah, I would rather say the Cauldron one that's already out, or if there's one coming up, like a pre-order, I would definitely say the Wicker Man one. Good question, that. Thank you very much. KOTD had one. Hello, mate. What was your first music or movie memorabilia that you got, and why did you get it, and do I still own it? Oh, God. I probably won't own the music one because I lost it all in a breakup. And film. Wow, memorabilia. Memorabilia. That's a tough one. I think the first, thinking about it, yeah. The first film memorabilia I got was Jaws jigsaws. I had them when I was a kid before I'd even seen the film. This company released 4 of them. Quite collectible now. But when I was working in the dialysis place, one of our patients was also a massive Jaws fan. And he brought me one of them in, still boxed and everything, from the 70s. Oh man, I was over the moon. What a gesture that was. I'd love to get the other 3 again, so I'd have all 4. They are long gone. But at least I do have one. And the one I've got now, I think it's the one that I never had. But yeah, God, I forgot about them. That just popped in my head. That's really early stuff. Music memorabilia, as opposed to like not records or CDs or anything. The earliest music memorabilia. I think I'm going to have to say it was a Bay City Rollers suit. It came out in the catalogue about 1973 or 4, whenever it was. And it was like these white jeans with a white jacket, denim, both of them. And they had tartan on the pockets. It was like what the Bay City Rollers were. Oh, and I was strutting along, thinking I was the shit with my Bay City Rollers suit on my clod-up shoes. And then my mum washed it and it all turned pink. So it went back. So I only briefly had that, so no, I don't still have it. I absolutely loved the Bay City Rollers. And the same reason why I got the Jaws ones. I loved Jaws before I'd even seen it. It was that poster. As soon as I seen that poster, I was like, I need to see that film. And then the Jaws theme came out in the charts by Lalo Schifrin. It's like a disco version, so I got that as well. And I tell you what, it was like a few years later when I seen it. I didn't see it till 1980, so I was 12, and it was a hell of a lot more scary than I expected it to be, I can tell you. But that was a good question. That made me think. Thank you very much. First movie memorabilia, right? Eraserhead. When will you be doing your first live stream? I've ummed and ahed with this, and I've said I'll do them, but will I? I don't know. The reason I don't know is because when I see all the crap that goes on, I think, is it worth the hassle? I don't mind going on people's, when it comes to running your own, it's... But then I do keep thinking, do you know, I actually really would like to do one. So I don't know. I keep saying to Pete, when we get asked this quite a bit, and I say to Pete, Pete's gonna help me out. He's going to show me the ropes and how to do it and stuff. And I have asked a few people already, if I did them, would you come on? And they said, yeah. But I don't know. I'd have to keep calm, and I couldn't lose me temper with these dickheads, these trolls that come on. It's all right when I do it on other people's channels. I know I would do it differently as well, slightly. I would start it differently and what have you. I've got a few ideas. I don't know. Leave it with me for a while, and I'll let you know. Keep your eye open. I probably will do one. David Mansell 315. What's your favourite and least favourite Iron Maiden song? As a fellow Maiden fan, my least favourite Iron Maiden song is The Angel and the Gambler. It's absolutely horrendous. And my favourite Iron Maiden song, I say this because I've been saying this since 1982, that this is my favourite song of all time. The Number of the Beast. And the reason I say it is because of the way I reacted when I got the single. Wow, did that blow me away. I had the single before the album. I got Run to the Hills. That went on repeat. And then when The Number of the Beast came out, the single, it just blew me away. The very first Iron Maiden single I owned, or item I owned, was Sanctuary, the single, censored. But yeah, but they have so many good songs. I mean, some of the later ones, I absolutely love Hell on Earth, and I absolutely love Death of the Celts, and I love The Red and the Black, and The Book of Souls, the title track. I think they're absolutely immense as well. But I don't know, The Number of the Beast, it's always going to hold a special place there for me, I'm afraid. Damn good question. I like that one. Thank you. Eraserhead, favourite Margot Robbie performance? I can honestly say I've never seen a single thing with her in. I know she is. She plays Thingy in the Suicide Squad. I'm not going to watch that. Isn't it Aero plays Barbie? I ain't going to watch that either. So I honestly don't know anything she's in that I fancy. So that was an easy one. Hugh Morgan, have you ever seen a ghost? I don't think so. But something freaky did happen once. When my eldest daughter, who's now in her 30s, she's just turned 33 actually, when she was a baby, we used to put her to bed in her cot because she was toddling. She used to climb out. She was a little shit for it. So we had the baby monitors on, and we went downstairs and we were watching the telly. And then we just heard this almighty boom on the floor. And then running. I went, that. She's got out. Ran up the stairs. She was sound asleep in her cot. That's true, that. That was weird. James Chavez, or Chavez. A memory of an album, A2N. The store when it came out of the box, newly released. A memory of an album. A memory of an album, A2N. I don't know what that means. The store when it came out of the box, newly released. I'm gonna assume that means like memory of an album that like I remember it so well and like how it looked, like the one that I absolutely love. And the one that springs to mind is Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind. And the reason I think I remember it so much is because the little independent record shop, which is sadly no longer there, when I went in for it, because I hadn't been in for a while, he had a massive display of The Number of the Beast in the window. And like my mum knew him, and I went in, can I have it? He went, oh, I've just told somebody they can have it. He went, if they don't come for it by Saturday, you can have it. So I rang him on the Saturday. He went, they've just been in and took it. Oh, I could have cried. So I bought Peace of Mind. He went, you can have that one when I'm finished with it. I turned around, there's a big Peace of Mind, Eddie, in the window to replace The Number of the Beast. And I think he only left it up a week or two, and I got it. I don't have it now. Sadly, I don't have it anymore. But it had the big back cardboard thing, and it had a cut-out Eddie, and then it had a poster as well and a few album sleeves. And I think that's why I remember getting the Peace of Mind album as well, because that was playing on my mind. I knew that was mine. And it seemed a long time when you're younger, from one album to another within a year. I was just excited to get another Iron Maiden album because I'd wore The Number of the Beast and Killers out. And then when I got home, the first thing I heard was the intro to Where Eagles Dare, the drum bit, and I was like, whoa! And I just absolutely loved every song when I first listened to it. So yeah, I have very fond memories. I remember going and getting that album and coming home on the bus, absolutely so excited. And as I played it, all I did was just look at the artwork all the way through, listening to it. Memory of another. TV star, female crush, and favourite female film star crush. unlike the Walks, I couldn't give a shit about age differences. Obviously, within reason. TV star, Wednesday, film star, X, and Scream. It's got to be Jenna Ortega. Tony Hart 3716. Hey up. If you was a food, what would it be? Probably a pie, because I'm a fat bastard. And which celebrity would you like to nibble on you? Jenna Ortega. Oh, and what did you think of the Blaze years with Iron Maiden? I absolutely loved them. Absolutely loved them, and I still do. I saw them on both tours. I had to go to Wolverhampton to see them on the X Factor tour, for the X Factor album. And I saw them at Newcastle City Hall for the Virtual 11 tour. I got backstage. I ran on stage and did the Heaven Come Wait thing. And then went backstage and met the band afterwards. Dave Murray threw me a couple of plectrums. I caught them as well. I don't have them anymore. So yes, I do. I love the Blaze Bayley era. I've also been to see Blaze Bayley once, about 4 years ago, getting on for. He's fantastic. He was fantastic. I've got some of Blaze's solo stuff as well. So yeah, I have a lot of respect and a lot of time for Blaze, and I always have done. And when he had a heart attack recently, I was devastated. I was like, please get through this. Anyway, he's fit as a fiddle. He's back out touring. Fair play to him. I think Maiden treated him a bit shit. They got rid of him to get Bruce back. Yes, I understood that. But there is ways of doing things. And I didn't like what they did, the way they did it. But yeah, X Factor is probably one of my favourite albums, to be fair. I rate it very highly. So yeah, I absolutely love it. I don't get all the hate. Some Maiden fans get on my tits, to be fair. James Shabby. Oh, you've done you once. Name an album you stole from a record store. I can honestly say I have never stole a record from a store at all. Ever. Oh, we're on the last 1, 2, 3, 4, chaps. An hour and 8 minutes. I'm hoping I don't run out of memory. Right. Play Tendo guy. Pete, mate, my friend, you beautiful bastard. Here's some questions for you, Nige. Is there any sci-fi films that you actually do enjoy? Yes. Total Recall. Terminator 2. John Carpenter's The Thing, if you so wish to class that as science fiction. The Wraith, if you so wish to class that as science fiction. The original Terminator. I will say Battle Beyond the Stars for the simple fact when I saw it as a kid at the pictures, I did enjoy it. So there's 5 or 6 for you. If you could be on the set of any film, what would it have been? X. It wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. Jaws. If I can't have Jaws, I'm going to say The Shining. What is an actor you like that might surprise us? Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone. I do actually like them. I know I don't have a lot of their films, but I do actually like them as actors. In fact, I think I like Stallone better than Schwarzenegger, but they've both done some really, really good stuff. And that's not normally actors I would mention, so that should be a bit of a shock to you. Thank you very much, Pete. Cheers, mate. That was 3 good questions there. Marvel fan. Wow, we've got a few now. What is your top 10 albums you like that aren't Iron Maiden related? Wow. I'm going to say Strangers in the Night by UFO, Kiss Alive, both of which are live, Overkill by Motorhead, It's hard to pick, but I'm going to say Metallica by Metallica, also known as the Black Album. It's between that and their debut, Kill 'Em All. I love that as well. Screaming for Vengeance by Judas Priest. That's 5. Never Mind the Bollocks. Here's the Sex Pistols. Regatta de Blanc by the Police. Or did I say that? I can't remember. The Great Rock and Roll Swindle, which is, people say Sex Pistols, but there's a few people different on it, but that was the first album I got, the soundtrack to the film. Reflections by Andy Williams. Wow, what a record that is. And Thunder and Lightning by Thin Lizzy. What's your top 10 albums you dislike? Iron Maiden, The Final Frontier. Anything by UB40, pick whichever one you want. Anything by the Black Eyed Peas, pick anything you want. Or do you mean things I actually like but I own, but no, it says dislike. Ooh, Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Wow. When I hated the Beatles, but I actually like them now, I hated the White Album. I've only heard it once. Side 4 was absolutely pathetic. But I need to give that another listen with a more open mind, especially the first 3 sides. So I won't include that one yet. Van Halen 3 by Van Halen. That's when Gary Cherone came in, who used to be is the singer of Extreme. That album was absolute bilge. I think that's 5, isn't it? What are the 5? 5 albums another 5 albums I don't like. Wow. So you can tell I haven't read these. I'm going, oh God. The soundtrack to the film Phase 4. What a, oh Jesus, I sold it. I hated it. And also the soundtrack to Altered States, which I've never seen, and the soundtrack to Sorcerer by Tangerine Dream. Just a noise. Absolute noise. And there's another Tangerine Dream I absolutely hate. It's the one with the bluey green sleeve with like a droplet in the middle. I can't remember what it's called. My God, what a bag of shit that is. I think I've got one more. I'm going to go with... I don't know what it's called, but there was a punk band called The Exploited. I never heard the album, but I heard some of it. My God, they're just awful. So I will pick that. They're the ones just off the top of my head. There's probably loads more. If I sat and thought about it, but even if I go through some, I might think, I hate that. I don't know. But there was an Iron Maiden one in there, did you notice? What's your favourite sport? I don't have one. All sport bores the shit out of me. When I was younger, I used to play squash. I used to love that. But as for sitting and watching it, nothing. Nothing at all. Sport comes on, it goes off. And I don't play anything either, as you can see. But I used to like playing squash and badminton when I was younger, but that's as far as it got with sport with me. Hate it. Balls me. What's my favourite TV show? The Young Ones. If you want something a little bit more recent or serious, I'm going to say Wednesday. Have you considered getting the Carry On Volume 1 and 2 Blu-ray box set? No. Because if I get them and then they don't release the others, I'd be really annoyed. And it depends how much they are as well. If I knew for a fact they were going to release the lot, I would consider it. But then you've got to think, 31 films is an awful lot of film to have to replace. I've got the lot on DVD. So I think that'll do me. Unless a big box set came out, it would have to be a damn good price though, because like I say, the ones I've got, that took me a long time to complete. I had to collect them over the months. And the last one off Marvel Fan is, do you have a favourite animated movie? Absolutely. Watership Down. I absolutely adore it. Love it. I was absolutely devastated when BFI announced that gorgeous 4K box set and then cancelled it. If anybody's heard anything else about that, can you let me know? Because I really, really need that box. It was beautiful and I would love it on 4K. So, yeah, some good questions there. Thank you, Marvel Fan. Thank you, mate. Michael Parker 3328. What is your favourite supergroup, if any? Oh, don't mind the travelling Wilburys. I don't mind the travelling Wilburys. I think at the minute it's probably the Hollywood Vampires. Johnny Depp, Alice Cooper, Joe Thingy out of Aerosmith, Perry. They're great. I've only got one of their albums, Rise. Oh my God, what an album! It's really and they do a fantastic cover of David Bowie's Heroes on it, and Johnny Depp does lead vocals on it. He sounds like him, but that is a really, 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 really good album, and they're a really good band as well. Johnny Depp's such a lovely bloke as well. I can't think of any other super groups that I like. Or I'm trying to think of people who might have been in them, and I can't. I'm going to say the Hollywood Vampires. Yeah. Did you ever have a Pink Floyd phase? If so, what's a standout song? Absolutely not. I don't like anything by them. Only recently, when it was out in the charts, I absolutely despised it. But I've got to admit, I do like now, for some bizarre reason, Another Brick in the Wall. I don't know why. I hate it. I like that end bit. You know, when the finish scene, you get that little guitar solo. And in the video, you see the kids all walking home from school. It reminds me of me at that age then, like 10, 11-year-old coming home from school. So it takes me back to when I was a kid. And the music goes with it. And I think that's what it is. So I can honestly say that that's the only Pink Floyd song that I've got any time for. I don't love it, but I can't think of anything else better they've done. Thank you for that, Michael. Really appreciate it, mate. And the last one, we're at the end. Cy Robson, you're on death row. Oh, thanks very much. What's your final meal? Spaghetti bolognese with an absolute ton of Parmesan cheese on, with the finest garlic bread anybody could find me on the planet, and a lovely bottle of red wine. Followed by a big family-sized tiramisu. And that's your lot. An hour and 20 minutes. Wow! I might have to upload this with no intro. I don't know. So if this looks a bit rough, so be it. I can't tell you how much I enjoyed that. Every single person who's took the time to comment and put their questions on, oh, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Oh, God, I've thoroughly enjoyed that. I've really been excited for this. So once that people were saying to me, you've got so many questions, you've got this, that, I was getting more and more. I thought, right, should I stop it now and do it? I was getting excited. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed that. That racked my brain. I could not think very well there. But yeah, amazing. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoy watching it and that I don't bore you to death. An hour and 20 minutes. I'd get a few beers in, lads, if I were you. Or if I'm lucky enough to have some girlies watching, get yourself some what's that stuff? Get some Lambrini or a nice bottle of rosé. And listen to me waffle on, because I think I'm worth it. Yes, I can't, honestly, loved it. Thank you very much. And I'm going to get going because I'm on Scott's stream tonight. I was going to upload this tonight, Friday. I'll do it tomorrow because it's a lot longer than I thought. Thank you very much. Enjoy watching this, all two of you. And I will see you very soon on the next video. And thank you so much for those amazing questions. I've had a blast. Ta-ta!